Well, hello and welcome to another wonderful Chubs Gone Wild. This episode is number 460, recorded on September 12th, 2022. Good
Are
morning.
you ever?
How are you, Tom?
I'm fine. Are you advertising Austin Powers?
Austin Powers. Oh, girl, why do you have to be that guy? I mean, of all the podcasters out there, you're the one I expected to not be that guy. Oh, wait. No, that was somebody else.
Yeah, yeah.
So, for those of you not watching the video, I do have the Union Jack in the back, or the British flag, and it is in half mast, although you can't see it because it's taking up the full screen. Uh, in uh, in 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 honor of the Queen who passed, and I'm talking about the Queen, Queen Elizabeth II, not like Russia or something. So she's still alive.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is September 12th, 2022, and it is currently 92 degrees and sunny outside the Chubs Gone Wild remote studios, which is a fabulous break from 115.
That was just one day.
Yes, the other days were like, what, 17,
No,
what,
we didn't get a
7,
17.
what,
15 was the highest. Then we had two 13s, 11, two 10s. It was hot.
and a partridge in a pear tree. Oh, it dropped dead because of the heat. Yeah. Um, and the worst, and even worse than that, is it wasn't cooling down at night either.
Not at all.
Yeah, and in Sacramento, when we do get hotter days, usually we still get a cool night. So, I'm gonna say about yeah, yeah. No, it was pretty awful.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is 39 days till Canadian Thanksgiving, 49 days till Halloween, 73 until Thanksgiving. Better go get that turkey, and 104 days until Christmas. And I have already bought several small Yule gifts. And it is 50 days, just 50 days until TJ Zombie Girl retires. And then I don't know what we'll talk about. Because I mean that is kind of the focus of the show, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, our last show was going to be the first week in November. So just
Right.
to finish up
TJ.
Zombie Girl's retirement, and then we're gone.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. Anyway, until then, Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like, well, My Life in Fragments podcast, books, videos, and more. We like to thank our current patrons, Clinton Nephi, Nick, DJ, Stassange, From a Universe, Eric, Sean, Charles, Brother Sinatus, Phoenix Dave, Kingsley, and Moose P. Please visit patreon.com/mattburlingame and find out how you can become a donor for as little as $1 a month and see fabulous things. Fabulous, fabulous things. Mainly me.
I think you should tell them that we're not really done when TJ Zombie Girls retired.
Oh, I was waiting for somebody to write in and go, "Are you serious?"
I
But
know the panic. I can't stand
I
thinking that
know.
somebody would panic, and
I mean, thank good you didn't say it in a disco, right? You know, Panic at the Disco. Never mind.
oh,
After your time. Um.
it wasn't, but not funny.
Oh. Let's see. What happened today in history? Well, let's find out. Near you probably can you pronounce that better than I can? Montanak. Montanak. I mean,
Sure.
I know where it is, but anyway, France. A collection of prehistoric cave paintings were discovered by four teenagers who stumbled upon the ancient artwork after following their dog down a narrow entrance into the cavern. The 15,000 to 17,000-year-old paintings consisted mostly of animal representations, are among the finest examples of art from the Upper Paleolithic period.
Wait. The Earth is only 2,000 years old. I don't
Five,
understand.
five, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Oh,
mean, you had to have just a little time before Jesus got there so that everybody could be glad Jesus got there and could be enslaved and stuff. But yeah, 5,000.
okay. You're sure?
Yep, that's what I hear.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean that's amazing. I mean, I just wonder what brand of paint they use. No, nothing. Okay.
Kelly
Let's
Moore.
what?
Kelly Moore.
No, yeah, that's a good one. I was thinking maybe Bear, but
No, Bear's much newer
oh,
paint company, so couldn't be that.
cool. All right, well, let's find out if we accidentally celebrate any holidays, like maybe Donut Day, because I had some donuts earlier. They were good too. Oh my gosh. So
Wait, some donuts? How many?
well, over the course of the morning, four small donuts.
They weren't small. I saw that. Hi.
Well, I mean, they were small if they weren't like, a great big, huge, like falafel
Well,
size.
they were small once you ate half of them.
Yeah, they're small now, baby.
Yeah.
Small intestine. Oh, no, so uh actually, and it was so good. There was a jelly one, a lemon one, a custard one with chocolate on it, and it reminded me that I'm losing my taste for chocolate. Not so much into it anymore. And then last one was just like a nice glazed. But yeah, I don't eat all of them, just the good parts.
Yeah, the part
Anyway,
with the donut.
well, yeah, because like I'll eat the part that has like all the jelly and stuff inside, and if it has like a nice topping, I'll eat that. But like there's that all that extra bread stuff that just takes up room. I could have more donut without the bread stuff. Anyway,
The donut is the bread stuff.
stop. You
Okay,
don't know
just go.
that. You don't know.
Okay,
All right.
what
Today,
else?
celebrating these holidays. I'm on top of it day. When's the last time you've been on top of it? No, nothing.
Ever. I don't have the knees for it.
Oh, well, oh, never mind. Gotcha. International Day of South-South Cooperation. All right. National Boss Employee Exchange Day. I wonder what they're exchanging. National Chocolate Milkshake Day. No, thank you. Um, Day of Encouragement. You're doing such a great job, Tom.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. See, we celebrated a holiday. National Hug and High Five Day. I'll do that with Kaya later. Um, just One Human Family Day. What the fuck?
We're
Anyway.
all the same people.
Oh, is that what is it? Oh, we're all
Jesus.
just
Oh
one
my.
human family. Well, you know what? If you go by the Bible, we all are. We're all Southern Cousins, girl. Anyway, also National Policewoman Day. I like that show. Report mediocre fraud. Oh no, Medicare fraud day. It's like mediocre fraud. Why would you?
Okay, what was her name?
Oh, in the show or
Obviously,
after? Oh, in the show, I'm not gonna remember. Mm-mm.
it was Pepper.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
Yeah, I remember
I should
because
know that.
I was up one night with stomach flu watching Policewoman, and it was always like, Pepper, Pepper, watch out. Uh, okay, just continued to watch the show. It was my second time with stomach flu in like
Uh,
2 weeks, so I knew what to do.
right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, go ahead.
who? No, wait. Who was
Angie Dickinson.
Angie Dickinson? Okay, I was gonna say Angela, but yeah, Angie Dickinson. There was some good shows. I need to go back and watch that again. Report Medicare fraud day. Like we can only report it today. Video games, and that's it. So
No donut.
no, no donuts. I'll have to keep having more until Donut Day gets here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Force that day.
For a day, I will do that. Yes. All right. Today's affirmation. Let me find my calendar here. Tuesday. No, yes, Monday. It's a cute little squirrel. Oh, hi, cute little squirrel. Today, I exercise my five senses by looking, listening, tasting, smelling, and touching.
Those donuts.
Mmm, that's a nice day. Except, well, the smelling. I mean, I'll smell
Oh,
some
what about
donuts.
the smell of that lovely lemon filling
Hmm. It
and the
didn't really
glaze,
smell. It tasted really good though.
the sweet glaze smell?
Oh, that was just lovely. Just lovely.
See, the problem with the chocolate donuts is that it's not really, it's more like a chocolate frosting,
Yeah.
and it doesn't taste like chocolate.
No.
It it has, I don't know if it's cinnamon or nutmeg, but they've got something else in there that
Yeah.
makes it taste not like true chocolate.
Yeah, it was like really heavy and just but the custard inside was quite yummy. So I just licked out all that custard. Anyway, moving on. Oh, we have some birthdays. Let's find out who is having a birthday today. Daniel, happy birthday, Daniel. Also, Jason, oh, our friend, our dear friend from the TV show that you used to do, we used to do, being gay today.
Yeah, I remember the show.
Okay, just checking. Juan, mhm. Also, Chris. Oh, that Andy Melton, formerly of 150 podcasts, and yeah. Let's see, Brill, Nick, Big Guy Tom. Happy birthday, Big Guy. Gary. Oh, he is the chaser that everybody chased. Mr. Gary. Also, Jerry Rabushka, the renowned playwright and musical artist. Robert, oh, from our little show that we were just talking about. Armand, Joel, Suki, Nathaniel, Emma, Rob. Oh, our local Rob, the little bear boy, the little cub. Tabitha, who we acted with, so wonderful. Mohammed, Pixie, and Scott. Happy birthday,
You know,
everyone.
Robert just got his first monkeypox shot.
Oh, really? Just already? Okay, that's great, though.
Well, that's getting
Especially where he
ready.
works.
I'm getting you ready for a lead in for the next.
That's wonderful. That's really sweet and wonderful. We do have some feedback first, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this time you skipped it.
No, I knew it was there, but never anybody there.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I've been thinking maybe I should get my monkeypox shots, even though I'm not really out and about that much. I don't know. I
You
found
can,
like a little zit on my back, and I was like, yeah,
yeah, you're not going to get it.
thank you. I moving on. Sean wrote in and said Shatner performing everything as iambic pentameter is hilarious, but also makes sense. It does, if you think about it, if you watch it. It's interesting. Anyway, thank you, Sean, for that, for backing me up, even though Tom thinks it's nuts. And I would like to send chub hugs out to all those who are mourning the Queen's passing. And I know there are many that think this is cliche, but for some of us, it feels personal. So I want to send everyone out there who is mourning chub hugs. How about you? What you got?
Well, my friend Ben, he's British, and he said that even though he had never met her, she was his granny who loved him.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and you got to remember that a lot of people know her as the queen that from the 50s when she first was was put in position,
Hmm.
and others know her just as the sweet granny who speaks to them on Christmas Day, and
Yes. Yeah.
and is there to watch over them
Yeah.
and eat sandwiches with
Paddington.
Addington Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually had to ask people to stop putting Paddingtons and marmalade sandwiches in the flowers and stuff that they were leaving for her. And it's sweet, but yeah, marmalade sandwich is are gonna go bad, and
No, it's not going to go bad. It's
they're
just
awful.
it's just going to be gross. But that's a nice way for the people who are down there. They can, oh look, drop flowers off and eat a little marmalade sandwich while we're there.
Yes, a little marmalade. Mhm.
Because I think that would be nice.
Yeah.
I like marmalade sandwiches.
See, marmalade's okay. I've had it once where it was really good. But for the most part, not a fan. Strawberry jam, and I mean jam, and sometimes preserves, are about my limit. I think grape jelly is absolutely some of the most disgusting concoctions that there is. I used to love it when I was a kid on sandwiches, but now I'm just like, no, thank you. Yeah, but you're right. And like I said to you earlier, I don't think I just said it on the show, but uh, there's under 20% of the people that are actually living right now who knew a time when there wasn't the queen as an ordained queen. So,
Well, and also, even um, for us,
mhm,
there was only one royal family, and that was in England. You
right,
know, I mean, even though there were other royal families around the world, the only one we heard about was the Windsors, and here they are. Um, the Queen was always there.
right. It was just kind of reassuring, and she was always ready to step out and calm us all down. Queen would come out and say, "Everyone, comb your tits now, please." So, and now we have King Charles the Third. I'd kind of hoped that he had chosen a different name to reign with, but he did not, and that's his prerogative. So, uh,
Would you want him to go with like RuPaul?
well, see, that's the thing is that a lot of people, when I've said that before, people are like, "Well, what did you want him to?" And it's like, it's not what I wanted. It's just that, the first King Charles was beheaded, and the second one was, had to run to France until he could, for a lot of time before he could manage to come back. Uh, so, I mean, the Charleses just have not had a good run. So hopefully he'll change that for them. So anyway, but all right, darling. What do we got here? So, uh, visible signs. Wait, was Ben your chub hug, or was there anything else?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay,
Now, don't you want to know who Ben is?
Big Ben.
No, no, he's the host of Casper Site, one
Oh,
of my scaries.
that's nice. Now, was he the one who commented back, wrote you back, or was that?
No,
I
no,
thought that was another one.
that was Callan.
Oh,
Well, and but actually, it kind of tied in because last week Callan had done a podcast with Ben,
mhm.
and
Oh,
so I posted the um, uh, on the Facebook that it was really nice getting to know Callan on the podcast,
mm,
and people are commenting, from the group. And then all of a sudden, Callan came on and goes, "Yeah, it was really nice to get to meet Ben," and it said, creator,
uh,
next to his name,
yeah.
and then right next to it was somebody else, one of the other people that he works with, who said, "Yeah, it was a really good interview." And then somebody goes, "Oh, do you have the link?" So I put the link, and it said next to mine, it said, I think it was, let me look real quick. I think it was creator or
Oh,
author. No, it was author. And so
mm,
it was very nice. So
yeah,
he's commented twice to on my post. So
that's very cool. Very, very
you
cool.
know,
Yeah.
it's nice. I like the fact that they're still attainable, you know,
Yes.
that they're not
Yeah.
just, I mean, because half the time I expect it to be, somebody who is working with them, or
Mhm.
the person they pay to watch all their sites.
Right.
But you can tell this is real, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Celtic coaches because I have known them since they were still kind of starting out, and it's still nice though when they like when I commented on a YouTube video of theirs recently. I think Rab is the one who kind of handles the YouTube, and he commented back and then said it's nice to see you in the comments again. And so it's always nice when they know you and they're down to earth and they're kind of
Right.
real, you know? So that's awesome. That's really cool. Okay. Visible signs of monkeypox infection usually start within 3 weeks and include flu-like symptoms, rashes, and sores that can look like pimples or blisters. It typically lasts 2 to 4 weeks and is spread through direct touching and infected areas, body fluids, intimate contact, and touching items such as clothes, bedding, or towels used by somebody with the virus. Learn more at cdc.gov. And this information was sponsored by Golden Rule Services at sacgrs.org. All right.
And then don't forget that just because you see something on somebody's arms, that doesn't mean it's monkeypox.
Oh, yeah.
Even though the psoriasis that I have actually has the same kind of blistering and pimple thing that the others have. So
That's
just,
awful.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, in fact, the subdermal monkeypox vaccine that you get, the shot, when you see the shot, you're like, oh my God, what's going on with your arm? So yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people have had reactions.
Okay, so some queer headlines. Actor Susan Sarandon announces I'm bi on Late Night with Jimmy Fallon.
Who cares?
I want to like her. I want to have her have diva status, but she's just been nutty. She's just I don't
She's
I don't with her.
she's a cock blocker.
Oh, and how was that, sir?
Well, I mean, she's how many times has her big mouth gotten um Trump elected, that kind of stuff.
Yes, yep, yep, yep.
She
That's
she
what
she went around and she just kept talking, and it's just like, shut up.
yep.
Shut up. Why do you want this? You know what you're gonna do if you keep this up. But she doesn't care because she's a bitch.
She's something. All right. Shangela will be the first drag queen to compete on the US Dancing with the Stars.
Well, it took putting it on Disney Plus to finally get a
Mhm.
drag queen on there.
Yep, I noticed that it was on Disney Plus. And they're also going to have Daniel Durant on. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, if you watched uh Coda, he was the brother in there who he's actually a deaf actor. He's been in many things. He's just a heartthrob, and he's going to be on the show. So that's going to be very cool. It looks. I mean, it's not an A star lineup that's going to be on there, but they've got some interesting people.
Okay, it's never an A-star lineup.
Well, you know what I mean. It's an A star in the past lineup. That's what I always expect. They just drag out like they used to do with like network Battle of the Network Stars. They just drag out everybody that's on contract and yeah.
It's the same group of people that they have that can't sing to
Uh,
be on Mass Singer. So,
yeah.
there's a pool, and it's called boy bands
Mm.
TV, old TV stars.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
yeah, and has been models and or like political people.
Right. And that's why it's kind of funny that they have Shangela, who's actually really hot and doing a lot of work right now,
Yeah,
and Daniel Drant, who is also really hot and
yeah.
doing a lot of work
They're,
right now.
well, they're moving up hot.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Um, so interesting there. California blocks state-funded travel to 4 states that just passed anti-LGBTQ laws because California rocks. So,
Well, they do it to a lot of times. They were preventing people from going to Florida
uh,
and Texas for a while as well. So, and I'm sure those are two of the states. So there you go.
no.
Well, we know they are. After that asshole judge let people that businesses who were claiming religious freedom not give HIV drugs to
Ugh,
their workers that
yeah.
were HIV positive
Yep. The PrEP
because
drugs. Yep.
for religious reasons. So why not just not hire them?
I in my religion, doing things like that is worthy of stoning. So no, anyway, it's not. Amen.
Stoning. What about stone?
Oh, in my personal
Oh,
religious,
a different kind of stoning.
people that
Sorry.
withhold important drugs from other people should be stoned.
Oh, let's see.
But now I'm talking about like with pot.
I know. I realized that you weren't
I'm
talking.
not on my religion isn't violent. Not
Uh,
religion either. Anyway, okay, moving on. Maura Healey wins primary and could become the country's first out lesbian governor. Very cool.
out, out, Governor.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like, hi, I'm out. I'm a lesbian.
right.
Wink, wink.
Big
Uh,
difference then. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just a single woman who hasn't found the right man yet.
right. But you call me auntie, and this is my roommate. Let's
Sheila.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Large gaming event set for Florida canceled because of the "Don't Say Gay" bill. Bye bye. Anyway, and now Tom wants to talk to you about.
Well, it's funny talking about the lesbian stuff. Um, have you gotten into League of Their Own yet?
No, it's on my list, but I just haven't made it that far yet.
Well, it is so lesbian forward. I mean,
Lovely.
and it was a really cool moment in episode 2 where they're trying to remember in the movie when they were trying to give the girl like how to walk and talk and be more feminine and that type of stuff. Remember
Uh,
that sequence? And it was played for laughs because these girls are all pretty butchy. Well, what happened was in the show, somebody goes, "I hate this. Why do we have to do this?" And one of the girls says, "It's because they don't want us to look queer."
mm,
And you wouldn't hear that in the Tom Hanks Gina Davis movie, but there's some really good um, things being said here. Very real things and how people were treated and the whole situation behind why everybody they were against the girls uh,
right.
playing because it made it look like they were giving thumbs up to lesbians.
Yeah. Now, did you see the Rosie interview where she was talking about the new show and how it was really good and that working with Penny, that Penny went out of her way because she didn't like she didn't really get and she didn't want the girls in the movie to come across as lesbian. She's like, no, no, they're just girls playing ball. And and uh Rosie had said, when you're playing these scenes, when you're reading this dialogue, it's a lesbian. It's a lesbian story. It's about being a lesbian. It's about coming out. And Penny kept making her replay the part or replay the scene, trying to get her to basically de-lesbian it. And she said Penny wasn't like homophobic or anything like that. It's just that she only saw that this was just girls in baseball.
Well, no, that's how she wanted it to be
Yeah,
looked
she
at.
wanted it to play because otherwise it wouldn't get.
It would, well,
Yeah,
Gina Davis might not want to be in the show if it's a lesbian show,
right,
you know,
exactly.
or and I don't know for sure, but
Well, no, and especially back when it was, there was still such a stigma. You didn't want, if you're
yeah, it
that
was,
big a star, you didn't want to be in it.
yeah,
Yeah, totally.
yeah.
Okay.
So go
Uh,
ahead. Oh, it's me. I'm talking. So anyway, that the show's really good, and I really appreciated that they threw that in there.
yeah.
Um, let's see, we're getting down to the end of the American Horror Stories. I think there's going to be 10 individual stories, and then they'll start American Horror Story, which was you know, the 10-week, our big arc storyline. It's always interesting to see if he can pull off 10 weeks worth of story,
Right. Yeah.
because he usually, it's either really good the first 5 episodes and then the last 5 are like what, or
Uh-huh.
it's just the opposite where what the hell's going on. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we've established it. The show, it should itself. That's why the last time when they had the one where it was 5 episodes of the one story and then 5 episodes of the other story, it
Hmm.
worked a little better because they weren't just trying to pull stuff out of their ass.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately with Ryan, a lot of his longer series tend to do that.
Yeah. um Especially ones that need to be really really creative, like a horror show needs to be where something like his other 2 shows like 911.
Hmm.
I mean, that's just, you know what is the new disaster of the week, because that's what's happening. and
Right.
and those are a little easier to get through.
Yeah.
Let's see, I'm still enjoying the Lord of the Rings and the House of Dragons
Hmm.
stories. Yeah, they both get better as you get further into it.
Hmm.
Um, RuPaul last week, the Celebrity Drag Race, sent no one home because everybody was so good. But of course, that usually means that 2 are going home next week. So we'll see
Uh-huh.
what happens. Um, on Big Brother, they got rid of Terrence. They voted him out, but uh, lo and behold, the people didn't know that it was going to be a double elimination,
Mhm.
and so they ended up backdooring Michael, who was he's the gay guy who had been killing the competition. I mean, it was so funny. He got 6. He won 6 of the veto contests out of 9,
Mhm.
and I don't think he was in all of the veto contests anyway. So it's like, with the exception of the last one, he didn't win, which would have helped because that would have saved him. He won head of household 3 times. He holds the record now of the most vetoes in one season.
Mhm.
So the guy who came in, who everybody kind of dismissed as being the gay guy,
Uh-huh.
um, ended up really tearing up the season. And it's funny because they voted him out, and he got up, and Julie Chen goes, so get your stuff and leave. And so he they voted him out. He got up, he goes, wait a minute, there's something I need to say. So everyone sat there, and he ran to the front door and left. And they're all like, what? What what happened? What, did he leave? What? What? And it was so funny. And then Julie said, so do you think you made some bad choices? Do you think that you made some wrong moves? And he said, look, they were smart to get rid of me because I was going to win otherwise. And he would have won because he was just killing it. So that was, I felt bad that he had to leave, but um yeah, it was he was fun watching and rooting for.
Nice.
Okay, so now you saw The Bachelorette, right?
Yes, I'm caught up except for tomorrow night's finale.
Okay, so you saw both STD episodes, right?
STD episodes.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
overnights.
Yes, I've seen them.
Okay, so just give you what happened. Okay, it started off with Gabby going out with Eric, and Eric was the one whose father died just recently. And so she fucked him, and then he got all like, now I feel really weird because I don't want you to be with any of the other guys. And she's like, oh my God,
I can't believe he's putting
he's
that past
smothering me.
me.
He's trying to tell me what I can and cannot do in my life. I just can't deal with that. And then she goes out with Jason, and he goes, she starts talking about the proposal, and he goes, well, the thing is, I just don't know proposal wise. I mean, the thing is, we've spent like a total of like 36 hours together over the last month and a half. And I really love, I'm really falling in love with you, but I don't know that I want to, propose.
Right.
And
And
so
what now was
she's like, oh my God, he's not ready. Oh my God, I can't deal with that. Well, I'm not going to fuck him then. So
yeah.
she didn't fuck him. And then she goes out with Jason, and I know Johnny, and he does the same thing, says, well, I don't really know that I'm ready for a proposal in a week. And she's like, oh my God, Johnny was the perfect one. He was the one from the very beginning that I was in love with, and I knew Johnny was going to be the man. And then she sees Eric and goes, oh, Eric, I'm so in love with you. I'm so glad that you're still here.
Uh-huh.
I love you so much. And I'm like, oh, this girl's just loco.
And then that's when he's all like, I'm so happy to hear that. But
Yeah,
I tell you, I am so fucking sick of Gabby. And I mean, here is somebody who actually, when you listen to her, what she says without, she has a little baby voice, and she's why am I so unlovable? Ugh, just drives me nuts. But when you actually listen to the words and stuff she says, she's a very smart woman.
she is,
So
but
I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you with these guys?
she's emotionally crippled, is what's wrong.
I, but when she was doing her whole, like, everybody fucking left her except Eric. And she's all like, I so unlovable. And I'm like, girl, you fuck yourself up. I don't know.
Okay. So
Just
anyway, let's move on to Rachel.
ugh, do we have to?
Yes. So Rachel, she went out with Avon, and fucked him.
And I
And
just didn't see
and
any
then
connection between those
then
two.
she went out with Timo, and made Timo really nervous. Did you notice how sweaty Timo was when she was
Yeah,
going? Your mom and dad were really mean, and I thought I was going to cry, and I just don't know. I mean, how can we, go further if your parents hate me? And
right.
it's like, well, you know what, girl, that's like 50% of all marriages. So anyway, but besides that, so she finally fucked him, um, and then Rachel goes out with Zach, and then Zach, she takes him home, fucks him, and after the next morning, he's like, "Oh my God, she's
Well, the thing,
blah,
yeah,
not the woman I thought she was."
don't forget that I don't know if they actually went all the way because the way
Oh, they
that they
go
were
all the way.
acting. But the whole thing was she was pressuring him. Are you sure you're only 25? Are you sure you're ready for this? And she kept pressuring him to the point where she got in his head.
Well, and
So
she's
I don't
26.
blame him for it.
She's 26, so that's ridiculous.
Exactly.
But no, the thing was, he said after spending the entire night with her, she's not, I don't want this. And at the very end of the episode, we got Gabby off, going bananas somewhere. And but she didn't come to the thing because she's only got one bachelor left anyway.
Right.
And Rachel's standing there with the three, with two roses. And Zach goes, Rachel, can we talk to each other? And it's like, sure. And then all of a sudden they go previews for next week, and Rachel's
Previews
like,
were crazy.
oh no, oh no, oh God, oh
How
my
could he do that to me?
God. Oh, so much fun, so much fun. So
They're fucking
um
cases, but yeah.
yeah, but I mean, this is this idea of using two did not work, number
No,
one.
no, it didn't.
Yeah, now who do you want to see as the Bachelor next season?
Oh, of the
Because usually they pick from these people.
Zach.
Oh no, I don't want to see Zach. I want Tyler to come back.
Oh, now Tyler, he'd be a good one. I
Yeah,
liked Tyler a lot. Yeah.
yeah. Because some of these other guys I just think are, I don't
I think
believe.
they're kind of yeah, I think they're douches or they
I mean, I
are
wouldn't mind
plants.
the Nate. I wouldn't mind Nate either.
Now, which one was Nate again?
He was the black guy that Gabby was with. He had
Oh
the
yeah, the
the
one that
daughter.
on the talk show thing that they tried to say was like not such a great guy after all on social media because some chick accused him of like ghosting her and not telling her that he had a daughter. Like, seriously, you're just trying to make a name for yourself, woman.
Yeah, so
Who cares?
I would, either of those two would be my favorites. Yeah, I mean I liked Zach,
Yeah, Nate was pretty cool.
but these last few guys that they had were kind of like, "Ugh."
Well, yeah, Zach was kind of the guy I was hoping for. I mean, he kind of for me had like the full like seemed like he was grounded, he was awesome. I thought that he was the one. Um although I have to admit that I really liked what was my notes? Jason. I liked him and then he bailed.
Yeah, but he's not ready. He's not ready
Right.
for to get
Well, and
married.
he was the one who was saying not only was
Hey,
he
look
not
at
ready to get
you, you're
married.
not ready. I mean, it's just,
Right, exactly. But he was
you
also
love
the one
me.
who was saying, who knows what's real off camera? Because we haven't had a chance to know each other off camera. None of
Right.
this could be real. And I'm like, well, he's got a point. So I don't know. But yeah, Tyler would be a good pick too. He was cute.
Yeah.
But he seemed really sweet and down to earth too. And genuine.
Okay, so on Alone, we finished season 7, and it was the one where they had to stay 100 days out in the wilderness, which
Mhm.
meant because the thing the end of the show was the 26th of December. So it was the day after Christmas.
Oy.
Well, even if they did it earlier, it was interesting this time they were talking about what happens after the show.
Mhm.
And the one guy goes, "Yeah, well, you think that, okay, I'm tapping out, so I'm going to go home." And it's like, no, you tap out and you have to go to basically a facility where they prep you on having a normal eating styles again, where they make sure that you're able to, you don't have some digestive problems from
Okay.
the weird shit that you've been eating. And
Mm.
think about it this way, like when you're off of when you haven't had a drink for a long time, and then you go out and you drink like you normally did, a
Uh-huh.
year ago, and you're just fucked up, and you're in the morning, you're hungover and you feel terrible.
Yeah.
And in the same sense, is these people go, "Oh, I can't wait to get out of here and get a cheeseburger with bacon and with,
Mm.
smothered with mayonnaise." And it's like, okay, yeah, that's gonna, you're, no, no, you're gonna go and get some rice and some, some broth, and
Right.
you're gonna, you're basically taking these people from starvation
Mhm.
and and reintroducing normal eating.
Right. Well, it's kind of like how they do on Survivor when they're out there 2 months and they're like, and now your reward is a great big steak, and they spend the next week like, running off into the woods.
Yeah, well, I remember the one guy that he only ate the steak, and then he couldn't poop for
Right.
a couple days, and he had to leave the show
Yeah.
because he was so constipated that he couldn't, he would just, if he walked a few steps, he would just like collapse and
Uh,
double over in pain. So
oh,
yeah, so
yeah.
anyway, one, I won't give it away, but one person does make it through the 100 days,
Huh.
and it's the one person I figured would. And but what's also interesting about this is that, with the exception of the first season, they only had men the first season, but since then they've had women every season, and usually the women are in the top 5. And
Mm.
in this case, there were 2 women in the top 3 this time. And back a couple seasons ago, there were 3 women in the top 5. So I just think it's really interesting how um because the men go in there and they're like, "Urgh,"
Uh-huh.
and the women go in there going, I'm going to eat herbs and I know how to fish and I know how to do this and that. And they hold their own.
Yeah.
But they're not going in it like She-Hulk, they're going in it like just a chick that likes to hunt type
Uh-huh.
thing. So I think it's really, really interesting that the women have actually, if especially if you took the all the women that have been on the show, and then you compared it with per capita the men that have been on the show, the women ultimately last longer than the men. And
Mm.
I don't know why, because usually they start losing fat. The men, both the thing is they start losing too much fat in their body, and so then it starts eating at their muscle. And with the exception of um, the women don't the women that have gone in there haven't been particularly heavy. So they're because we had a few guys that went in, they actually were like filling up on like they put on weight to go in to do this.
Oh, wow.
So um so anyway, I think I'm so impressed with the women that are on the show. I really am.
Mhm.
And but it's such a good show. We've got 1 season left, and it was so funny. We were out, and I said, "Well, tomorrow we're going to go home and we're going to watch those last 2 episodes of season 5." And he goes, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "Alone." He goes, "We're on season 7." And I'm like, "Oh, that means we have 1 season left." So
Aw.
and I know there's a season that's, I believe, going on right now, but
Mm.
that's not going to be on, you know, Hulu or Netflix for a while. So I'm bummed, but we still have 1 season left. That's
You never
important.
know where you can find it.
And also on Glee,
Uh-huh.
um, right now we're actually on the season 4. This is right before Finn dies. Finn dies over the summer, so it's the end of season 4. And uh, Rachel has just auditioned for Funny Girl,
Mm.
and now she's on Broadway in Funny Girl. So,
Oh, well,
oh, you're not telling me you're against Rachel.
no, no, I'm just remembering that storyline and how she fucked up that chance, but,
Well,
and
yeah, but
for a
also,
show that didn't work. But I mean, that's one of the things too is hindsight with stuff like that is 2020. You take your chances, you take your leap. So it's just the story. I'm not dissing her or the
right, opening night, she got 6 standing ovations throughout,
yeah.
4 in the first act and 2 in the second. And Ryan Murphy and God, I always forget his name. Um, uh, um, Groff,
Oh,
not
Jonathan
Jeremy,
Jonathan Groff. Yeah.
Jonathan Groff. We're both sitting there in the well, she said Jonathan was in the third row bawling in the second song, and she's like, oh my God, she could see that it was him. So that was kind of funny. And Ryan was there in the first row on opening night, so that was pretty.
Oh, okay. So you were talking about uh uh the actress and the real funny girl, not the show.
Right.
Okay.
You
So in
know,
that case, good. I'm glad that she did really well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. We started a show, Devil in Ohio. It
Yeah.
starred Emily. Oh God,
What?
just her sister is the new girl.
I have no idea.
Zoe Deschanel. Okay, Emily Deschanel, and she who was on Bones for years as Bones. So it's an okay. It's no Midnight Mass. Let's just put it that way. It's kind of your standard girl shows up with a pentagram carved in her back, and
Oh,
she's
yeah.
from a town that's very mysterious town, a few counties over, who they're very religious and they don't like strangers, and so
Oh,
she
of
escapes, and now they're coming for her type stuff. So
course.
how can we protect her? And but they're worried about protecting her when I think she's the real demon.
Uh,
I think the girl is the devil in a lot.
mhm.
So um let's see. Saturday night we were over at the Punchline. We saw Jay Farrell, who was also on Saturday Night Live for about 6 seasons. He's the one who played Obama. Because remember they had Smooth Daddy, and I can't the guy who plays Smooth Daddy on Big Mouth. He was the one that played Obama, and everyone's like, we might want to get a black guy to do the role. Let's get a black guy. So they brought in Jay Farrell because he did the imitations. He's really good at voices, and so they brought him in, and worked for quite a few years doing that. So
Mm.
but he was there. He had his friend AJ Foster was the opening act. They were terrific, just
Okay.
terrific. Jay Farrell, different than he had been earlier in his career. But I think that's because he's in his mid 30s now. And did you know he was 22 when he got onto
Mm.
Saturday Night Live?
No.
22,
Wow.
baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it was excellent. The It his act felt like watching early Eddie Murphy. It was just full of energy, really funny. I was crying, literally, from laughing so hard that I had to wipe tears out of my eyes from laughing so hard. It was
Oh,
good, really, really good.
good.
Um, so and then I've already told you about Callan from Slapped Ham, and
Mhm.
so yeah, that's kind of my week. Otherwise, I'm just glad that it's um not hot anymore. Now, did you see what Wednesday temperatures are?
No.
Okay, I hope you can handle this, but Wednesday, 79 for a high and 58 for a low. I mean, those are fall temperatures right there.
Yes, they are. Those are
Yeah.
autumn, autumn, autumn.
I mean, that's open the windows, don't turn on the air.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely weather.
Looking forward to that.
So, how was your week?
Well, it was nice. I stayed at home as much as I could to avoid the heat. Um, let's see. So I watched House of Dragon, the new episode last night.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet. Was it good?
Okay. Well, we'll definitely be discussing that when we see it, when
Oh,
after you see it. Um, yeah, it was good. It's finally starting to get some intrigue, and
now have they jumped forward yet?
no.
Okay,
Well, she's now, I think, 17 or 18, and but I mean, it's the same actress it's been since, I mean,
right.
after they replaced the little girl. Um, so she's, yeah. Anyway, it gets very adult in nature, let's put it that way. And we'll
Was there good sex scene?
there it was fine. I mean, the guy was hot, but there was some sex stuff in it. But man, I'll tell you, the one sex scene, and you'll know it when you see it, was like, oh my God, would you two just fucking do something already? I
Okay.
mean, yeah. Anyway, um, but then there's another almost sex scene that, well,
Uh,
let's just say it's staying very true to the original uh show.
okay.
Okay, and then I did catch up on Rings of Power. That's the show that I'm watching with my friend Heather.
Right.
We did catch up, except for this Friday show,
Sure.
and I'm really liking it. It's still got ways to get itself going, but I really think that they did a great job with casting the lead female elf, and I can never pronounce her name, like Halilil or something like that. And you know who she is with in the Lord of the Rings movies. She's the elf in the forest that they went to see, and she like he offered her the ring. Frodo offers her the
Oh,
ring, and
so
she's all like,
that is
ah. Yeah,
Kate. Um,
Beckinsale. I don't know. I can't
no,
keep all the Kates and people.
yeah,
It's great.
this is the Kate with the C.
Okay, Blanchett. No,
Blanchett. Kate
I'm just
Blanchett.
kidding. Okay, so
No, that
but
is Kate Blanchett.
oh, okay. But I mean, I think that the actress that they chose, y- she's just got real. You can just tell even in her emotes, like not saying anything. She's just got real talent. So I think they are doing good with her. As far as the men folk and stuff, I'm just like, whatever.
So who do you think the tall guy is?
The tall guy.
The one the two girls find in the middle of the fire?
Oh, honestly, I think it's going to turn out to be Gandalf,
No, I think it's the
Sauron.
Sauron. Yeah,
Okay, that could absolutely work too.
yeah. That's who I'm thinking it is because Gandalf. No, I
Well, we
just
never really knew how old he was, and
right.
he was supposed to be very old. So, and then he transformed into Gandalf the White. So, and then just
No,
anyway,
all he did was change his wig.
true, but finally got one that wasn't all dirty and ratty, I guess. But I also caught up on all four episodes of She-Hulk. It's a very easy watch. I
Yeah.
was kind of at first I was like, oh, are you really choosing the audience, talking to the audience, breaking the fourth wall thing? But then it worked, and it was great to see Bruce and Smart Hulk. Um, and they brought in some great cameos, and
Yeah. Well,
I loved it.
I like when she goes, okay, no, you're going to see more of Wong,
Yeah,
but just remember whose show this is. Okay.
right.
And I thought that that fourth wall breaking was kind of fun.
Yeah.
So no, I'm having a good time with it. Oh, Sean doesn't like it as much, so
Huh. Well, that's odd.
not for everybody.
Yeah, but I liked it. I thought it was great. Um, then of course we talked a little bit about The Bachelorette,
A
and
little.
well, yeah, I it's such a
Come on, who do you think is going to most likely get a venereal disease?
um probably Rachel.
Well, yeah, because she slept with everybody.
Well, and to me, I don't really care about that. Although, if these guys really have genuine feelings for her, and like after they're like, oh, he's the one, and then after the show, they're like, you have to sleep with all the contestants, like, but
Well,
that
you remember the one
would
with
say
the
she's a modern woman. But here's one of the things
bullshit?
I am so tired of the word, yeah. Because when you watch them talking to the Gabby and Rachel, when you're watching them talking to the guys, everything they say, yeah, 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 yeah.
That's well, right. Gabby does that because she's holding back tears.
Well,
She
well,
wants to
yeah,
sound like she. The thing is, she wants to sound like she's a modern woman, but she's not.
no. Well, you know what she reminds me of? You remember that Boy Meets Boy, where they tried to do this kind of bachelorette thing with the guy.
Oh yes, yeah, yeah.
Okay. And then they brought his best friend, the I know we're not supposed to say fag hag, but I'm sorry, she was the epitome of the classic fag hag. And she had the long hair and everything. And when she found out that I don't know, they some whatever the twist was that some of the guys were straight or something,
Half of the guys.
she just ran through the whole thing and had this huge meltdown and was sobbing and crying like it was happening to her. And
Now,
then they made fun of her on Saturday Night Live. Do you
no, it
remember?
wasn't Saturday Night Live.
Was
It was
it Mad
Mad
TV?
TV, and it was
Okay.
Michael McDonald,
Uh,
the guy who plays Stewart.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was brilliant. It
it
was
was
absolutely brilliant. But
hilarious.
that's who Gabby reminds me of when she's like, clinging on to the golf cart while they're taking her away in tears, and she's like, why am I so broken? Can't anybody love me? And I'm like, I feel for her because I know these are like real emotions, but at the same time I'm just like, oh man, Saturday Night Live could do so much with this.
Yeah,
So
and they will.
but I was still, Zach still hits my buttons. Just saying. All right.
Oh,
Newsies. So I didn't know what to watch last night, and so I just scrolled through Disney and I said, you know what? I've got probably 10 musicals and shit on here that I have never seen that have been out forever. I just need to see them. Like even Hamilton, I'd still never seen Hamilton, and it's up on Disney. So I'm like, just do it. So I clicked the button. I watched Newsies, the Broadway musical. It's the one with and now I'm going to forget his name, Jeremy
uh,
Jordan, who was in Supergirl, and it was also the book, which I did not realize. The book to this musical was written by Harvey Fierstein. Yay! Um,
which and I had mentioned to you that the play was based on the movie that Disney had done back in the 90s.
yeah,
Christian oh God.
asshole Bale. I mean
Yeah,
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale
Yeah.
and also Bill Pullman, and
Oh, I didn't know that.
it was I really loved the movie,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, oh, why? Because it's a musical. Because otherwise it's shit, and it's like, what are you guys talking about? And
Huh.
then all of a sudden it becomes the Broadway musical, and everyone loves it.
I guess. I mean, I haven't even seen the movie. I knew nothing about it. I just know that everybody loves it and thinks it's a great musical and everything. Well, this was and they have several versions of it on Disney. This is the Broadway like recording of it. It's awesome. I absolutely loved it. It actually got me really into it. Oh, I'm sorry, there was a ghost in your house there for a moment. Um, I was really into it. The music was great. The story was fun. The acting was really good. The dancing was phenomenal.
Which I won the Tony.
It deserved it. Um,
Yeah.
and I mean, I haven't felt that good about a production, whether live or on screen.
Well,
For
you know, the thing is with this show, it is just so fucking active
yeah,
that it doesn't give you a whole lot of time to turn away from the screen because there's another huge musical number. You
right.
know, whether it's I'm the King of New York or
Uh-huh.
Seize the Day,
Yeah.
it's just one big fat dance number after another. Uh, and I'm thinking these kids, once they get off of the stage, are probably huffing and puffing. I know I'm out of breath, and you're just watching it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
mean, and they're just leaping through the freaking air. The dancing was amazing. And the set. Now, have you seen this version?
yeah.
Okay. The sets, the way they did everything with projection and like what is it called? Uh when they're putting buildings up and stuff. What is it? It's all metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Raffle.
Yeah.
My brain's farting.
Yeah, I can't think of what the word is either.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, but it just the way that they integrated it all, they made it multi-level. I mean, that was a very smart use of the stage of
well,
everything.
right, because they needed to have the thing tall behind because they needed all the stage for the dance numbers.
Right.
Although some of the dance numbers took place on that on
Yes, and they
on the
did
structure.
phenomenal on that
Yeah,
too. So
which is how they did
scaffolding.
West scaffolding. The West Side Story was you always used with scaffolding as well. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's a fun show, both the movie and the Broadway musical, and it's nice to see them taking musicals, filming them uh on
Yeah.
stage so we can see them because you know um if you think about it, how much of the population actually gets to go out and see Hamilton on stage or Newsies on stage or any other musical on stage, Wicked or Phantom. Not too many people do.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of people have for these long runs, still it's just a small percentage of the population.
Right. And I wish they would do more of the bigger shows like this. It was great.
Yeah.
Um I did watch the I Am Groot, which are 5 episodes. They're all 5 minutes long, and the actual storylines are all about 2.5 minutes of that, and the rest are all credits.
Yeah, that's they did the same thing with what was the last one they had on there?
Oh,
The the Baymax thing. Remember, he was the robot that was the nurse robot from.
oh, I didn't watch
Yeah,
that. I'll have
yeah,
to.
they did the same thing, and they were like 3 minutes long, and then 18 minutes worth of you know
Credits.
so
Yeah. Well, and these were fun. I mean, these weren't like, you're like going, oh, is this going to be good? It was. I think I laughed at every one of them. They're really fun. And then I did watch a few episodes of Leah Remini's Scientology show, whatever it was called, and it's just freaky. It's just, they're like, well, and this person has spent the last 20 years of their lives being stalked and harassed just because they could. I'm like,
well,
that's
yeah, because well,
insane.
you don't go to Scientology and then go away from Scientology.
I know, but it's just like,
It's like any good cult. Watch Devil in Ohio. Same thing. Once in a cult, you're always in a cult.
yeah,
And if you're not and you're bad mouthing them on the side, they're going to do what they can to make your life miserable.
yeah.
They're assholes.
It's like, what a waste of everybody's lives to do something like that. It just makes no sense to me. Anyway, so there was that. And then finally, just a reminder that at the end of the month, Bros is coming out, and I really would love to hear from our listeners that they went and supported the show and what they think of it. So, all right. And with that, we want to remind you to be loud, be proud, be too much, and to be you. Fat Marker Clothing wants those of us who have been told that we are too much of something to turn those negatives into positives. And Chubs Gone Wild listeners, you can do this with the code FMWILDCHUB to get 20% off anything while ordering over at fatmarkerclothing.com. And that includes, it's getting that time of year, you can go order your Halloween cards, specially made Fat Marker Halloween cards. Fatmarker.com. Go check them out.
They're Halloween cards.
Yes, and they're really neat too.
Well, I
So,
don't doubt that if they're coming from Fat Marker, but I'm just surprised that there's actually Halloween cards.
yeah, they're really expanding.
Okay.
So, yeah. Okay. Well, it's time for advice, and I decided that we needed to take a little break and check something else out other than Dear Prudence for a bit. So we're looking at Miss Manners. Now, this is little bit lengthy, so bear with me. Dear Miss Manners, my child's school is having a staff appreciation week, which isn't a bad idea for the efforts they put in and how they enhance our kids' lives. What strikes me as extremely gauche, however, is that it's being organized and run by the school while asking the parents to contribute as follows. First day, send kind words and thanks and or thanks. There we go. Second day, send sugary treats. Third day, buy something from their wish lists. Fourth day, staff members get a special Mexican luncheon while parents cover classroom duties. Keep in mind that the students have been trying to get the quality of the school's food improved for months. While the staff claims that there is no need, students are sometimes not eating at all because they have how bad they perceive the food to be. Fifth day, send the teachers favorite snacks and drinks to stock their fridge. This seems like the kind of thing that parents should organize if they want to do it, not be pressured into it by the school. If the school administration wants to do it, they should fund it. It comes across as, hey, aren't we great? Buy us stuff and tell us how great we are. And then they send reminders every day. Tacky. Do teachers and school staff deserve nice things? Yep. But this is not the way to go about it, in my opinion. I don't know what kind of fancy ass school this is. Uh, I mean, the kids won't even eat because of how bad they perceive the food to be. You know what? I'm sorry, in my day, and I know other friends too who have said this. You're damn lucky to get something in cafeteria food, and it wasn't the best, but we ate it anyway because otherwise we'd fucking starve. Just saying. So I think this is bullshit, and yes,
Well,
I kind of agree that it is forced and that is a little ridiculous. And I bet some of the teachers would probably agree with it too. But you don't have to participate. We wouldn't have if something like this came down to my school. I didn't have the money to do this shit. All right. I know
well,
you're busting my gut. What?
first of all, I guarantee you that this was started by somebody's parent and not the school itself. I almost guarantee it. This sounds like something that like a woman who has children and has had been dealing with like not because this is this a regular school or is this a
Yeah, I'm thinking it's got to be some sort of fancy school or private school or something.
right? So that's I think that's why this is more ridiculous and extreme. Um, you can make suggestions, on one of these days, pick one of the things, but
Uh-huh.
fuck that. I'm not taking the day off so they can go out for a Mexican luncheon. And I don't care if the school food is good or not. That's not the point here. Um, and uh, and and give them snacks and drinks so they can stock their fridge. What
Uh-huh.
why don't I just buy them like $100 Safeway card so they can stock their fridge at home too? How about that?
Right.
Um,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just it's over the top.
Yeah.
Um,
That's the main
but
thing. I don't find anything wrong with having a
a, te-
optional,
a teacher appreciation week,
yeah,
that's fine.
or well, I would say an appreciation day myself. A week is kind of like, okay. But yeah, I don't know. It just whatever. I'm glad I am not dealing with shit like that on any side of it. You too?
Um, I mean, yes. I mean, this is why I don't, want to have children as well, to deal with this kind of garbage. But
Uh-huh.
I still think I don't think there's anything wrong, like I said, with appreciation, but my God, this is just ridiculous. And heaven forbid that they should like police it with the
Uh-huh.
parents. Oh, I would be so pissed.
Actually, that reminds me that my one of my friends, her daughter, they have that her in some sort of they have her in like a gymnastics program or something like that. And one of the things that that program does is every parent, even though you have to pay to have your kid in there, and it's not cheap, you also have to commit to something like 100 hours or something like that of like uh volunteer
Oh
time
yeah. Yeah,
and shit like that. I'm just like, if I'm paying you a hell of a lot of money to take my kid off my hands for a bit, you can fuck it with the volunteers. And if you don't, it's like they charge you $50 for every volunteer hour you didn't do.
oh, great. So I did want to mention that your voice, I was
Uh-huh.
going to say, oh, Margaret Dumont, we thought you were dead. Margaret Dumont was the woman who was always stuffy and um uh the Marx Brothers movies. She would be the one going, "Oh, you are dreadful people. You must leave my house right away." And then they start the pie fight.
uh,
Um,
I
so
love that.
that's actually from the Ritz. He gets in the elevator. Chris gets in the elevator when the guy goes, "Ugh, you're the type of people that give us a bad name." And he goes, "Whoa, Margaret Dumont, we thought you were dead." So yeah, just but that's the voice she used made me think of that. So
I
I will
love
let you
that.
go.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
Well, here's what Miss Manners had to say.
Uh-oh.
Agreed. No doubt the school administration would love to have the parents set up instead and step up instead and make up for the school's obvious lack of funding. So, if you do not like the school's approach, Miss Manners suggests the way around that is to volunteer to be the parent organizer instead. Aren't you sorry you asked?
See,
Yeah.
yeah, but like I still say, schools aren't going to force this on families. This sounds like some bitch who has been doing it for years.
Mm,
Oh, this is the way I always treat all my children's teachers.
yeah.
Yeah, in the public, not public school, but in the private schools. So,
Right. And it
uh,
has to be because, I mean, and that's the thing is that public schools really are underfunded and they need, like, when you have to have parents donate or buy supplies because the school can't afford to supply the materials for the kid, that's fucked up. That's just wrong. But in
yeah,
this case, yeah, just I still think this is like some private school or something. Anyway, hey Chubs, how much water do you drink every day?
probably 5 to 8 gallons.
Mhm, mhm.
No, I drink just enough. But I don't like drinking water at night because then I don't want to have to get up more than
Pee pee pee.
once to pee pee. And I find that if I don't drink much at all, I
Yeah,
don't have to pee at all.
that's interesting. So weird.
I
It's almost
just
like your holds on to all that Diet Coke. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I try to drink about a gallon a day, but I have really fucked that up in the last like probably 5 months where I do get in a couple bottles of water a day, but other than that, I have yeah. Anyway, what hey Chubbs, what's the farthest from Sacramento you've ever been?
Um, I'd have to look it up, but I've been to a lot of places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know yours is Rancho Cordova, but
Uh,
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 yeah, I mean, I've lived in Europe. I've been to Hawaii. I've been to deep into Mexico. Down at the bottom of Mexico. I've been up in the Canadian areas. I've been all, like I said, all over Europe. So, there's yeah, that.
hmm.
So you pick a place.
um, I'm not sure. I've been up to Washington State and I've been to Palm Springs. And one of those is probably the farthest that I've ever been from here.
Washington.
Washington, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's farther than getting to Washington. Where'd you go? Portland. I mean, Seattle.
Probably.
So that would be further than Palm Springs from
Well,
here.
no, I don't think I went to Seattle. We went to probably places where my grandmother lived, so probably, Puyallup or something like that. So,
Okay.
yeah, but okay. Well, that was lovely. Hey, Tom, take a guess. When do you believe was the first drunk driving arrest?
Um, okay, if we're not doing horses, I would say that it was probably somewhere around 1915.
Hmm, okay. Not too far off. It was September 10th, 1895. Or no, sorry, 1897. A 25-year-old London taxi driver named George Smith became the first person ever arrested for drunk driving after slamming his cab into a building. Smith later pleaded guilty and was fined 25 shillings.
And it was a actual vehicle.
I think so. 1897, yeah.
Did they have cars in 19?
I
I
guess.
guess maybe they had steam, like a steam one, or because I don't know that.
Um,
Maybe it was a horse-drawn carriage and he was drunk.
the first car was invented in January 20 was on January 29th, 1886. So a year later was the first drunk driving arrest. So it was Carl's Benz applied for a patent for his vehicle powered by a gas engine. Hmm. It was 3 wheels. Okay. So what we got next? Okay, well, let's get into lunchbox. What's in your lunchbox? Well, Mr. Moose wrote in and showed us all around his box. Woo! Starting with starting with curry chicken for lunch. Tender chicken, celery, peas, and bamboo shoots. Chicken does look yummy. Oh, bought watermelon from Whole Foods, going to dice it up for snacks. That looks like a good watermelon too. You know, I bought a little personal watermelon, and before I got a chance to chop it up and eat it, the bottom part of it got all sunken in and moldy and stuff. It's very disappointed. And then a white flesh cantaloupe that I'm preparing for breakfast. Great grilled brings out the sweetness. I never thought about grilling cantaloupe.
Well, they say grilling a lot of fruits and vegetables really adds stuff to them. You know, pineapple, is always grilled, and I've seen them grilling peaches now, for and put ice cream on top of them.
Yeah.
So, well, it brings out the sugars and gives a different texture.
I guess I don't like a lot of fruit in my food. I like fruit to be fruit.
Well, that is fruit with ice cream.
Ooh. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Moose. That we really appreciate that.
It was. I'm curious on just how good that watermelon tasted because it looks excellent.
It really does. In fact, now I'm kind of like, I wish I had gotten myself a watermelon instead of donut. No, I'm lying. All right.
Okay.
Although I do kind of want some watermelon later.
Yeah, I mean that's fine,
Yeah.
but no donuts, please.
Yeah. All right. Well, send us an email at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. Leave us a comment at chubsgonewild.com. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/chubsgonewild. Look us up on YouTube, Chubs Gone Wild. Please consider becoming a patron of the show at patreon.com/mattburlingame. And find Tom's movie and TV reviews over at swannerandjudd.com and find their podcast in iTunes or on iHeartRadio. Find out more about my books at justkisstheguy.com and check out my other podcast at biggaysexshow.com. And give us a call at
408-69 Chubs.
And you will definitely want to send us an email at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. Send us a lunchbox thing. Send us just a note. Give us a call. Any of those.
Oh, with
any
as
of
many
those.
people that take pictures of their food, you think that Moose wouldn't be the only one that knows how to take a picture of their food. Well, we got Michael Sage and we got a couple of the other people.
We got Mike
but,
Perry.
but we got all these guys.
You're
You're out eating food all the time. Take a picture of the food and send it to us.
Yeah. And you should do that because we are going to be doing our holiday contest again, where the person that enters or anyone that enters sends us anything, email. It's got to be either email or a phone call, though. No texts, no things like that. Although you can comment on our YouTube videos, and we'll take that as well. And then at the end, we will select one of you who have done all that, well, done at least one of those, to get a very special year-end holiday gift from us. The gift begins with Sears?
No.
Sales.
Begins with K.
K. There you go. There you go. That's disgusting. All right,
love. K is the first letter of Kiss.
No, not Kiss begins with K. It's what was it? No, it was something else, wasn't it? Was it that?
What are you talking about?
K. It was a jingle.
Oh, I am stuck on a band-aid.
All right. Well, before we get into Oscar Mayer territory, we're going to head out. So thank you so much. We love you, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.